Hello, Leo. Welcome to April 2018. Thanks so much for being here. Quick announcements. I'm not going to be doing private reading this month. I just am feeling a little bit beat up, if you will, after Pisces season. There was a lot going on, and I just kind of need a break. That being said, there will be an emergency option for people that really feel like they need some guidance with something. That information, pricing, and everything will be on the website if you want to check that out. Comprehensives will be available just like last month though, okay? I do give you a lot more information, a lot more clarity. So let's begin, okay? You guys had such an amazing reading. You guys deserve so much. It's really time for you to just own what your heart desires. This is what I want and I'm just gonna go get it. And that's it, plain and simple, that's it. You know, because the Mercury retrograde is happening in Aries, a fellow fire sign, you will feel it. And there's no shame. This is what's so great about this retrograde for everybody. It's just there's no shame in saying what you gotta say. There's no harm, and people, they might get offended, they might get hurt for a second, but ultimately the Aries nature is very buoyant, and it just kind of bing, can kind of bounce back very, very quickly. And so there's really no need to feel guilty for asking what you want. There's no really being careful, that kind of thing. And in your reading, and I do clarify this in the comprehensive, but you guys will see the Two of Cups that comes out reversed. And when I clarify it, we're getting the Devil, the Tower, the Lovers reversed. So whatever it is, it's there's this need for either you to let something go or for you to just say this can be easier kind of thing. And we don't have to work so hard. And you have to be very cognizant of what it is, how you are contributing based on what you allow, okay? There's a great energy happening in the sky, not only with Aries, Sun entering Aries, the Mercury. We have Venus entering into Taurus, which is the house of career for you. We have Mars entering Capricorn, which is the house of work. So it's about creating. It's about going out there and getting what you deserve. And not being afraid to work hard for it, because you've already gone through all the big picture stuff. You've already kind of developed in your mind kind of where you want to go. And now is the time. You had Pisces season to rest up. Hopefully you took that time to really just kind of retreat and be calm and be quiet and meditative. We just had the sun come across Neptune. We're just waiting for the sun to get across Chiron, and then we're going to kind of be out of Pisces for the most part. And then Chiron is going to enter into Aries later on in April. So the Piscean dream state, spiritual healing, going to the depths of our soul, that stuff is coming to an end. It is time for us to be passionate, time for us to go out there and hustle and to be and have and do everything that we want, okay? So it's a really, really great way to start this 12-month cycle, okay? All right, I'll leave you guys there. Thanks so much. Take care. Bye. Hello, Leo. We had the Three of Swords come out. So what's going on? Why did this card fall out? Some disappointment of some kind has recently occurred. It might be a big deal for some of you. It might not be that big a deal. Just something where you had your heart set and you may have been just feel like maybe you were misled, misdirected. Someone was leading you on or making false promises. And maybe you had even projected a little bit too far into the future, And that's very common, because we always want to see the best in people. Not just Leo, but everybody. We all want to see the best in people. And we all want to feel like someone wouldn't say that if they didn't really mean it. And they wouldn't keep it going if they didn't really want it. But they do. you know, and a lot of times people don't want to be the bad guy, so they tell you what you want to hear without regard of the ultimate consequence. You know, it's kind of a band-aid approach to an uncomfortable situation. But I think it's okay, because I think what it's done is it has solidified within you what your heart really wants. You may be a little frustrated with yourself for not paying attention to your intuition initially. And you could be a little bit like, oh man, like I knew this was going to happen. Oh, I should have listened to my gut, but I just wanted to believe. Because belief is so important. You know, without belief, you know, it's like the placebo effect. The belief itself is what cures us, even though you're kind of getting a sugar tablet, you know? And so belief is important. So when our belief misleads us or misguides us, it can be a little disorienting and it can be a little frustrating sometimes. But it's okay. I wouldn't lose that. You know, I don't sense that any of you are really becoming bitter because of it. But rather like, okay, well, now I know. And now there's room for the thing that I really want. Because I do believe that what I really want does exist. And I do believe that I can do that. And that that type of person is out there for me or whatever it is. Okay. And look, see, making room. You have to go through this loss in order to make room for the thing that you ultimately deserve. Because it's, I feel as though, energetically speaking, we must go through a spring cleaning all the time, you know, not just only in spring, but, you know, it's a constant maintenance where things kind of build up and then we need to purge it, and then they build up and then we need to purge, right? And every time we purge the negative energy, we make room for the positive energy. And I feel like something good is really coming to you because you let this go. And even though I don't necessarily know that you were the reason for this, but rather it's maybe you were a little bit of a victim here, there doesn't seem to be any lack of optimism, which is great. Because you know that that's just right around the corner. You know that the next deal is going to be on the table. You know that the next relationship is right there for you. You know that, and the next opportunity, you just have to just wait and it will come. Yeah. Someone broke a promise to you. Someone let you down for sure. In the realm of the Two of Cups very often speaks in the realm of romance. I do feel like there was some kind of misleading behavior, and it wasn't honest deception. It was just like I said before, why would this person say this if they didn't really mean it, kind of thing. But it could be in the realm of work too, right? Where a deal kind of fell through. Someone said they were going to do something and they didn't. I do see a lot of career stuff going on this month, so, you know, you can be open to which area of your life this really applies. Siblings, family, friends, that kind of thing. Again, I don't see that that person is bad, you know, it's just what happens sometimes. They don't want to hurt you, like I said before. They just wanted to mend the situation in the moment. But there wasn't a lot of substance. You know, there just wasn't a lot of substance to what they said or what they did. And the Queen of Wands. See, onward and upwards. Queen of Wands, beautiful card for a Leo. There's power here. I use the word power a lot, I've noticed, in my titles for Leo, and I don't really know why that is. That might be more applicable to like a Scorpio, more attractive to a Scorpio, or maybe even a Capricorn or something like that. But you are powerful, and I know that you would be like, heck yes I am. But it's a kind of even a softer, kinder type of power, where it is more about the giving and it is more about the warmth, where I think Scorpio and Capricorn are a little bit more chilly in nature and power for the sake of dominance, rather. But for you, power is like empowerment. You feel empowered by your own internal source of light. And I know that you're really ready to shine bright, and you're ready to share that light with someone else who truly operates on your level. And it's hard to find people that operate on your level. It's hard to find people that are as fun and outgoing, who are as creative, who are as, you know, a lot of people pay a lot of attention to the cold and dark things in the world. Not everybody, right? Not everybody. But there's a lot of them out there. And so you do have to be very selective about the people that you surround yourself with. And I think you are going through that process. And I remember talking about this last month, where you're kind of at this point of just really not making any apologies. Like, I'm just going to let my light shine and let it get brighter and brighter. And if you can't handle it, then you need to leave. And I think this is what this was. It's very possible that someone can't handle the brightness of your light. And you may struggle with finding people that can handle the brightness of your light, that can handle everything you have to give. The Leo people in my life, I have a lot of Leos in my life for some reason. It's like Leos and Capricorns, they're like the main people that I really associate with, and Aries too, I think. And Leos, they have this endless supply of giving, and the more they give, the more elevated they become. And it's like, a lot of people can't keep up with that. Leos tend to, now I'm not saying this applies to all of them, I am being overly generic and somewhat stereotypical, but you guys have a lot of friends. You have a lot of friends because people want to be a part of what you have going on. You are, even though you're a masculine polarity, being a fire sign, and even the sun is a masculine planet, you have intrinsically kind of mastered the essence of the divine feminine. Meaning, I'm going to spin, and I'm going to just create my home, my own little whirlpool, my own little tornado of my own life, and I'm just going to go and have this internal energy, and people are going to be drawn to you. That's kind of the essence of feminism, or divine feminism, right? Things being, or attracting things, receiving things. And I think that's what the Queen of Wands is really all about, is that energetic force that is just kind of her own tornado, her own whirlpool that just kind of sucks everything in, you know? But sometimes it's hard and frustrating to do it all by yourself, and sometimes you really do want someone to really bounce off of, you know, that stimulates you. And the lighter and lighter you shine, the more you see other people's dimness. And it's kind of the unfortunate way it is. And there's no judgment there. It's just, you know, different levels. It's just different levels. And Leo can very much be very introspective because you've got Cancer in the 12th house there. And Cancer is deep emotion. Fire is passion. And you have the qualities of both very much on the outside and on the inside as your standard modus operandi. And so, like, you're tough to keep up with. And People can't handle that. A lot of people can't handle it. It's not your fault, you know, it's not anyone's. And the thing is that I would recommend just keep doing everything you're doing, because eventually you will attract the people that you really, really want to be with. It's probably more selective. It's definitely a more selective process. But that's why I think you're really okay with this. Because you don't stop believing. You don't stop keeping your eye on what you ultimately want. And you know that this is just right around the corner. So this person can just do whatever they need to do, and that's fine. You know, just moving on. You even have your kind of head turned away from them too. I think your world is going to be more focused on your creative goals right now. Creative, financial, and career goals. Because you gave the romance stuff a real go, a real shot. You really dedicated yourself to this person or this situation, and it just didn't work out. Okay, fine. Okay, fine. So I'm just going to look for this and not worry so much about this, right? The Ace of Cups reversed. You don't have to. It's like one of those things, once you stop trying is when it really happens. You can believe that love is meant for you. If you're looking for romance, you can believe that it's there for you. Okay? And then it will show up. But you don't need to actively seek it out in this instance. I don't see you being very active in that area. I see you being very active in your creative expression. Okay? And being very forceful and very powerful with your declarations. Like, this is what my heart wants. And telling the world in your own creative way, whether it's verbally talking or artwork or music or, you know, whatever it is you do. Okay. See? Wheel of Fortune. It's all coming for you. This kind of even seems very insignificant to me more now that I'm like getting further down the road with the reading, because this is so much more potent. The universe is working tirelessly to ensure that the things that you really deserve are coming for you. And again, this will apply in any area where you're feeling a little bit of a lack or a little bit of scarce. Wheel of Fortune kind of comes and goes. It's an ebb and flow. Sometimes we need to take the wheel and drive, and then other times the universe takes the wheel. Lately, the past few months, the universe has been at the wheel. In the next few months, it's going to flip-flop, and we are going to need to act upon the things that the universe has given us. So it's this universe gives us something, we take it and go. It's like passing the baton in a race, right? The universe has the baton now, but in the next couple months, it's going to pass the baton to us. So you can just kind of go and do as your heart desires. Live your life the way that you really want to live it. No excuses. There's no right, no wrong here. You just go. You do what makes you happy. Let this stuff unfold. And then once you see those things coming in, piece by piece, it doesn't have to be this huge monumental turning point. It's just like one little opportunity after the next. Then you take it and then you run with it. And then the universe is going to be like, okay, what's this Leo going to do with it over the next few months? Let's see. Let's wait and see. And then we'll see what happens. And then, okay, if they do something good with it, we'll give them some more good. If they throw it away, well, then we'll give it something. We'll give this Leo something different, right? It's kind of like a dialogue that we have with our spirit guides and with the universe, right? So it's kind of just a wait and see type of game, and knowing that whatever this was really for the best, and it's what really it had to be. Okay, and I kind of hate saying that sometimes because it does feel like a cop-out a lot of times. It sounds a little bit like the easy way out for a tarot card reader. Oh, it's just the way it has to be. But, you know, it is. Okay, what else for Leo for April? Ten of Pentacles Reverse. You know, this is like some kind of a breakdown of something. Like something got or became a little too real. And like I said, perhaps your contribution to this scenario was that you projected a little bit too far out into the future. Like maybe you're in a romantic thing, you started dating someone and you were kind of thinking of, oh, we're going to get married and have babies, right? But you've only been dating for a few months. That's you projecting, like getting too far ahead of yourself rather than, it's not to say that you weren't really going with the flow. I think we all were just kind of going with the flow the past couple months, but still that hope was there and you were really hanging on to that hope. And maybe you gave someone a few too many chances. And that's fine. I do think that whatever this was is something that does need to be left behind, okay? And in spite of what you feel like you're giving up, it's illusionary, right? Because the swords in the middle do represent illusions. Our intellectual and logical boundaries or restrictiveness, because our minds can be so strict with logic sometimes, and it can feel like a little bit of a mental imprisonment, right? So those of you who have more open minds, this is going to be a lot easier. For those of you who have very restricted minds, this is going to be like, oh my gosh, my heart, and it's going to be very, very painful. But it really doesn't have to be, because look at how beautiful some of the surrounding cards are. I don't think you're going to hear from this person. Again, we do have that Mercury retrograde that I'm sure I'm going to be talking about in the intro. I do the intros after I do the readings. Communication is not going to really happen. There may actually even be distance between the two of you. Maybe this person is traveling, maybe you're traveling. It's going to be a little bit tough, and connecting is going to be tough. You're not going to be synchronized, and any efforts to reconcile at all, I think, will be futile. I think it's best, because you're a fire sign, the Mercury retrograde is happening in a fire sign, it will affect you a little bit harder. Like, I can't even tell you, as a Virgo, the Earth sign Mercury retrogrades last year kicked my butt, mostly in the realm of technology and communication. But holy cow, like every Mercury retrograde, I was always like, no, it's no problem, it's fine. And then all these things ended up going wrong. So I don't know if, like, my computer broke twice last year, both times during a Mercury retrograde. I lost a camera, I lost 2 cell phones. Like, there were so many technology problems over the past year for me. Not projecting, saying that stuff is going to happen to you, but when the retrograde happens in your sign, it does affect you a little bit stronger, right? So this could feel a little amplified, a little more amplified. And it likely will be difficult to see, kind of see an outcome. The High Priestess coming out here indicates keeping to yourself. Really, truly keeping to yourself, to not be, there's no need to really put yourself out there emotionally right now. A lot of times I do recommend, you know, a culture of vulnerability, but there are reasons here. I'm not getting the energy of the other person quite yet, but there are reasons here where I would recommend you not being emotionally unavailable, because you're not going to get the result that you really ultimately want. Mum's the word with the High Priestess here. Follow your intuition. You've been in your intuitive space for, I mean, you always are. So now is a time for you to really listen to it. It will guide you through the course of the next couple weeks more smoothly than if you try to, like, this is going to be like banging your head against the wall to try to get something or get some outcome here. Okay, so let's see. Let's pull out a few more. I'm going to be clarifying all of these three, Ace of Cups, Ten of Pentacles, in the comprehensive reading. If you do want to check that out on my website, the link will be down below. So to get a little bit more detail, maybe about what that other person is really thinking or what they're doing and that kind of thing. Spy on them a little bit. I think you're really in the driver's seat right now. See, I love the diplomatic aspect here. Air and fire, beautiful, sharp, focused, not a lot of dreaminess, not even really that much feeling, okay? And I'm not saying you don't have feelings, of course you do, but operating in spite of those feelings, more on a logical plane, okay? Logically, remember how I talked about logic here? Logically, I think there are many, many signs that pointed up to this that perhaps you maybe ignored or pretended did not exist. And now it's time to really look at those facts, because hindsight is always 20/20. So now you can really see that for what it is. And I think you see it as this, like it really was like this. And trying to move forward with that situation is going to continue to be like this. Like, do you want to be the parent in the situation? Like the mom or the dad, the one that has to like mediate? I don't think you really want to be like that. I think you'd much rather just find someone else that's operating on your wavelength, because then it's just the flow will be easier. And sometimes we just realize that we don't have to work so hard, you know? Chariot is like onward and upward. Onward and upward, and being totally okay with it. I know that you might feel torn because there is a lot of potential with this situation. So you're feeling torn, like, do I wait it out? Do I see? Do I continue to believe that this is going to be what I'm hoping it would be? Or do I really just continue on? I will clarify this, although I'm leaning toward that a lot of you are just going to be like, you know what, I think I want my life to be easier. I've had enough of this the past couple years, and like I learned from all the stuff that I went through. So I'm just going to go. Like, just leave it behind. There's no obligation. There's no responsibility on your part. And you might need to be a little bit of, you know, a little bit rash, or not rash, a little bit brutal, you know, tell it like it is, say what needs to be said. But it will set you free. You know, definitely will set you free. Okay, Leo, I'm going to go ahead and turn off the camera. Like I said, if you want to catch me on the comprehensive, I will see you there. All right, thanks so much. Talk to you soon. Bye.